What up, Wallstreet Bitch?
What's up, Hanz?
It's good to be back at the Baptize Machine.
It's good to be back. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. Welcome to
The Baptize Machine. Episode 11.
Episode 11, Part 2.
We have Tina.
Second reboot.
Tina, the Interdimensional channeler.
This intro is quite long.
Yeah, well,
Hanz, how's it going, Hanz?
good, man. I'm loving this new software. They're one of our sponsors, actually.
Yes. So if you can't tell, Hanz has been busting ass, and we got some serious upgrades here. Using a new software program. Got some additional. Oh, I like that. Put that back on. Got a new software program, some additional cameras, and it's called Riverside. So we're gonna put a link in the description. If you use our link to sign up for this recording / videography app,
You get 20% off.
you get 20% off,
Yeah.
and you just support us.
And
which
we're
we
still
appreciate.
we're still reviewing it. You know, this is our first episode together using it, so
I think it's awesome.
we'll see how this comes out. And yeah, so far it's been a good experience.
And I got this thing too. It's for screaming.
It turned red. That was not good.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, yeah.
What we got on the agenda today?
Today we're gonna start by doing some Christmas gifts, and then in about 10 or 15 minutes into the podcast, we'll have Tina on, and Tina, her name's Tina Kinney Clark. You can go to tinakinneyclark.com,
Tina.
Clark with an E.
Tina K.
I met her on Facebook. She told me that she's been in contact with angels and archangels for over 10 years.
Wow.
What's the difference between an angel and an archangel?
I was just gonna ask that, but
We'll ask her. Okay. I have no idea. She's also been in contact with Jesus.
I think an archangel is like a large, more sexual angel. Like they're the
Okay.
ones who run the other angels.
That's interesting. So yeah, she's also been in contact with Jesus,
Gandhi, right?
Gandhi. Oh, you're using a stand today. Wow.
I know. I got the stand. It's a little weird because I have to lean forward.
I think it'll make it more consistent sound. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Mahatma Gandhi, like the famous one, we should clarify on that. Also,
Is there another
Jesus.
Gandhi?
Probably in India, there's a lot of Gandhis.
Oh, so
I
you
don't
think she's just communicating with like a dead guy named Gandhi,
know. Maybe.
who's not Gandhi?
And then she also said Sasquatch, and she has a
Oh.
podcast, or she had a podcast. Her last episode was in March, I think, of last year.
Did she get canceled?
No, it's called like Weird Experiences, and she just interviewed people with weird experiences.
And she's an energy healer, right? So we're gonna try to get some healing.
She does remote energy
therapies.
She's a psychic too.
We're gonna review them.
Since she's worked and taught 400 clients, including 60 Reiki students. And so that's her main business since I think she retired her podcast. But anyway, I thought we could.
Well, first, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What? That's we used to have a segment called "What You Drinking."
Yeah.
You want to do that segment?
Sure. What you drinking?
Yeah. What you drinking? What are you drinking? The Baptize Machine. All right. What are we drinking today, Hanz?
Today we are drinking Elysian Space Dust IPA.
Elysian Space Dust. Yeah, I really like this beer. I think I've maybe tried it like once or twice before, but it is from. Where's it from? It's from Colorado.
Oh yeah, the dank state.
I don't think it is, but all right, moving on.
Wait, could you say Colorado again?
Colorado. Thank you. Did you know who visited Colorado today?
Joe Biden.
Our near and dear president, Joseph R. Biden. Hey guys, come on, man. come on.
But yeah, we also used to have that segment called Baptize My Bong. That'll be, questionable if we want to bring it back.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring that back. But that's... Oh, you had something you wanted to do? We can't talk about Joseph R. Biden.
So I got you 3 Christmas presents from one of our sponsors, which is called Temu, T-E-M-U. It's the Asian website.
You got me 3? Damn, Hans, I haven't gotten you anything yet.
They're all very cheap. So I'll give you... This first one I just accidentally ordered. I don't even know if it'll work. But here, hold it up for the camera.
What is this?
It's a knockoff Apple Watch from China.
Hans!
Yeah.
How much was this?
I think it was about $12.
$12?
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Yeah. So...
What?
When you're gone next month and we're recording remote...
Is this really $12?
Yeah. Or it was under $20 for sure.
Dude, this is dope.
Yeah, bro. It's a knockoff Apple Watch.
Oh, wait, why was it so cheap? Look at this. $12. $12.
Yeah, TEMU.com. Our first international sponsor. Thank you, China.
Dude, this is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like it. All right, well, let's move on because, you are going to have some people just listening to this. I'm saving the best for the last.
The watch is so comfortable.
Okay, here's the next gift. It's for your car ride to Texas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Big boy.
The air freshener.
It's
classic
that
meme.
Famous large dick. Do you know the background to this meme? The guy's dick is photoshopped. It's not actually his real dick.
That's not surprising.
Which is sad because that was an inspirational photo for many people.
It was very
But thank
inspiring.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And then here's the last one. It's from Looney Raccoony.
Really?
Yeah, it's his newest sweater, not on the website yet.
Wow.
It's the pickle sweater.
This is dope. Wow, dude, I love this.
Emus has Looney Raccoony now. Yeah, pickle slut.
Woo! Pickle slut. Oh, this is great. Thank you. These are great gifts.
Yeah, Merry early Christmas.
And Looney is one of our... Ooh, I just lost my mic. Looney is one of our sponsors. We'll put the link. They're the company who makes our shirts.
And then, we also got Shep's Liquor Cabinet and Riverside. So thank you to our sponsors.
Fuck yeah, that was good. That was good. So, can we... Oh, that's her? That's the... Can you put it up on the screen, or... Can we briefly cover the presidential election in 1 year? Because there's some interesting numbers coming out, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. Also...
So this is Tina Kinney Clark, who will be on soon.
Tina, wow.
Can't wait to talk.
You can see the archangels are descending upon her.
They're really touching down upon her, which is great.
That is good. But back to the presidential election. I just want to say that RFK Jr.'s poll numbers are insane. And I think he might actually have a shot at either totally fucking up the election or winning. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, he might. If you just look...
There's a bunch of different types of polls, but he was pretty much blowing everyone out of the water in a lot of the swing states, especially with younger people.
You could look here, he's up 5 points since last week. Yeah, favorable. He's 38% favorable.
I mean, he's ahead of Biden in a ton of states.
Yeah, the question is, do Americans have a favorable or unfavorable opinion of RFK?
What is
38 favorable, 33 unfavorable, up 5 points since last week.
Because this is a guy who had so much negative press about him, deemed a conspiracy theorist, and deemed an anti-vaxxer for the last 10 years. And he has done such a good job at articulating his vision and his policies. It's really cool to see, because I think he seems like an extremely honest, straightforward dude.
Yeah, he seems to admit when he's wrong, which is a good characteristic, rare in a politician.
And also this guy Vivek, which his voice is really annoying, and I think he has some insane policy ideas, but he's also blowing up right now as well.
Mm-hmm. True.
But who are you leaning towards, Hans? Trump,
RFK,
Biden?
baby.
You are?
Yeah.
All right, that's my boy.
I can't vote Trump or Biden at this point.
I know. But that's good to know that this is an RFK Jr. Positive podcast.
Mm-hmm. It is a podcast that's positive.
Yes.
We're also looking for other guests to come on our show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Reach out to us if you have any ideas or you just want to come on and chat.
Yeah.
But what else were we going to touch on before this interview?
Oh, we are giving out free shirts still. If you first 5 people to send us your address.
Send us your address.
Or no, just DM us free shirt.
Yeah. Well, and we'll give your information to Looney, and they'll send you a free shirt.
What else do I got? Winter's coming, you know.
Yeah. What's what big news in Denver recently? We live in Denver. The opioid fentanyl death rate has sort of shot through the roof. Apparently there's some bad shit going around, but I think like 5 people died the day before yesterday.
Oh, really?
It's continuing to get worse, yeah. And I don't know, it's just really fucked up and sad because the cartels now are just, instead of selling to American gangs, they're just shipping their own drug dealers up here. And they're just making more money than ever, and it's
yeah.
I don't know. I don't see a solution in sight.
No, it's a serious epidemic for sure with the drugs.
Yeah.
Welcome, Tina.
Hey,
Tina.
how are you?
Good. How are you
Good.
doing?
How are you?
I just got good news. My daughter got accepted to her first choice college.
Oh, congratulations.
That's-
Yeah.
Yep.
What
Just
college
found
is
out
that?
like 5 minutes ago.
Awesome. Woo.
What college?
College of Charleston, South
Oh,
Carolina.
nice.
Cool.
I'm a Gamecock fan. University of South Carolina.
Oh, she got accepted
Yeah.
there too, but she got early decision, so she needs to go to College of Charleston and tell
Nice.
everybody else, no way, she's going.
Nice. That's great to hear. Well, thank you, Tina, for taking the time to join us today. This is Hanz. My name is Wallstreet. We're a podcast that interviews interesting people on a variety of different topics. But yeah, you seemed like you had an interesting story and seemed like you have some knowledge and wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners. So we're excited to speak with you tonight.
All right, awesome.
So yeah, do you want to start just by introducing yourself and sort of giving like a quick summary paragraph on who you are, what you do, that sort of thing?
Sure. So my name is Tina Clark. I am a shamanic Reiki healer. I do a combination of Reiki, energy healing, and shamanic healing. Have my own business called Stargazing Angel. Started it in 2014. So next year is my 10th business anniversary.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And in addition to that, I'm a professional tarot reader. That's actually how I started out, was reading tarot for others. And I'm also a spiritual teacher, so I teach Usui, Tibetan Reiki, all levels. I also teach shamanism classes and other spiritual classes as well. And I'm located in a town called Somerville outside of Charleston, South Carolina.
Wow, that sounds really cool. So the 4 or 5 things you teach are shamanic healing, Reiki, and what were the other ones?
Oh, I have a bunch of classes. So I have like a beginner class for tarot, for reading tarot intuitively. I teach psychic abilities classes, classes for empaths, people who are
Awesome.
empathic and want to become more conscious about their abilities. And I'm a life purpose coach too, so we can throw
Cool.
that in there. So I do whatever I'm really interested in that keeps me excited and
That's awesome.
learning all the time.
Yeah, and I'd love to delve deeper into each of those, but can you start by explaining what an empath is and maybe how to identify yourself as one if you're not really in the know?
Yeah, so an empath is a very sensitive person who is naturally able to feel other people's feelings so much that they don't understand that those feelings are not theirs. And so an unconscious empath would be somebody who's like a big sponge absorbing all sorts of feelings of other people and all sorts of energies and not understanding that it's not theirs.
Interesting. And I've heard, forget where, but that more and more empaths are being born now than ever before in history. Is that something that is true, or like, have you ever heard of that?
Well, yeah, I think every generation that gets born is here to change things.
Uh-huh.
Now, whether they do that or not is questionable, but there is a wave of people that were born in the 70s called the Indigo Children.
Oh, right.
And they were highly sensitive people, and I believe that I'm part of that wave since I was born in the early 70s. And then there were the Crystal Children that were born after that. So yeah, we're here to save ourselves and save the planet, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. I watched some video or documentary about psychic abilities in children, and there's some schools popping up where they wear blindfolds and sort of train these abilities, which I think is interesting.
I think all humans are naturally psychic. We're just not taught that. We're not embraced. Those abilities aren't embraced as children. And so when we realize our parents and our authority figures don't see what we see or feel what we feel, we shut it down.
Interesting. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So for someone who is not aware of themselves or doesn't have a lot of experience with their consciousness, what's like a simple, easy thing they can do to sort of get in tune and
begin to discover your psychic abilities?
Yeah.
And awareness is really important. So be aware of how you are feeling. And when you have certain feelings pop up like anger or anxiety, or ask yourself, is there a reason why you should be feeling angry or anxious? And if you don't have a reason, you may be picking it up from someone else.
Interesting. Okay, so if there's not a logical reason.
Right. Like I was telling a story earlier to a friend, but I remember walking into Target one day and I felt really angry for no reason. I mean, it was like a wave hit me all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I literally stopped in the aisle and I asked myself, is there a reason why I should be feeling angry right now? I started asking myself questions.
Interesting.
And I realized I was completely fine before I walked into that particular area of Target. So I knew that I walked into an anger bubble of somebody else.
Interesting. So where do you draw the line with like unconscious trauma responses and stuff like that, and then empathy? Like how do you tell if it's really coming from someone else versus
It's not
yourself?
just like an inward self-reflection. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of practice. And if you do get triggered, for example, that's always an opportunity to heal, because you have to start asking yourself questions like, stop walking around reacting to everything. You know, you need to start understanding yourself and why things make you mad or sad, or you may not know the reason. But at least ask yourself why, instead of just absorbing everything and reacting to everything and not learning about yourself in the process.
Interesting. So where does external, I don't really know what you would call them, but beings or angels or your spirit guides, how do they play into this? Is that where the shamanism start? Is that like the shamanistic realm interacting with beings or spirits like that?
Well, a medium can do that, and all that mediums do is they receive messages.
Okay.
So they're sort of like the translator, the communicator, or the middleman. And then a shaman goes beyond that because a shaman works with spirits and helps spirit. Okay. And they help us. So you have to have a relationship with certain spirit helpers, is a word that is used.
Okay.
And you have to be accepted and welcome to do that work. Like, I think that if you don't have that spirit helping you or those relationships, you can't really do shamanic healing.
Yeah. I wonder, are you familiar with the QAnon shaman who stormed the Capitol on January 6th?
Yeah.
Do you consider him to be like an actual shaman?
I don't know anything about him, so I can't.
Yeah, that's just how he was like identified by the media.
Yeah, I can't speak to that.
I think he claims to be a shaman.
Yeah. I also wonder, because I attended the Psychedelic Studies Conference, the MAPS conference in Denver, and there's a lot of backlash about like cultural appropriation around the ancient medicines that are often psychedelics. And I wonder if that happens with shamanism too, like if there's any, if you could speak to any cultural appropriation around people calling themselves shamans when maybe they aren't.
Yeah, I think you have to be careful. You have to have very good discernment whenever you're choosing to work with an energy healer or someone who calls himself a shaman or a psychic. But ideally, I would have been trained as a child, but I was born in a family that didn't even recognize psychic abilities. So I found a teacher through training with Reiki. My Reiki teacher was also a shaman. So I trained with her, and then you do what you need to. You know, you try to find the teachers and read the books and practice. And over time, you know, I was really good at it. That's awesome. Like it started with tarot. I was really good at reading the tarot, and then I was really good at Reiki, and then I was really good at meditation.
Yeah. Did you ever like predict anyone's death reading tarot cards? Sorry to get dark, but I'm just curious.
No, tarot's not really read that way. So all the so-called negative cards, I always call them challenge cards.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean if you pull a death card, doesn't mean you're gonna die. It means that there's a challenge coming up or there's an ending coming up for you. But whenever you have endings, you have a beginning.
So can you delve into tarot a little bit? Because I feel like it's really misunderstood, you know, in society. What is tarot to you?
So tarot is an ancient tool used to connect with the divine. So for me, in order to be clear, I don't do anything. I don't do any Reiki. I don't do any shamanic healing. I don't even do a tarot reading without invoking my spirit guides and my angels and the light. So I'm very clear about who I'm communicating with and who I want, you know, helping me with the reading. So and there's a lot of people out there that are not doing that, and then you get any kind of spirit talking to you, and you don't know who you're talking to, what they are, and there are trickster spirits out there that pretend to be good, and they're not.
That's when you get like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, can you speak to that a little bit more? So there are negative, or maybe not necessarily negative, entities that try to interact and influence our lives, does it ever get scarier than that? Is there a chance to interact with like a purely evil spirit, or how do you protect yourself from that type of interaction?
You protect yourself by every time you do something spiritual, you invoke the light first. And then you have to have really good discernment. And what I mean by discernment is you have to feel into your feelings and know the truth about the entity that you may be communicating with.
Are you of a particular faith when you speak of coming from the light?
No. I'm not religious at all.
Okay,
but
cool.
some of the beings that I work with are from religions. You may be familiar with some of them, but I'm not.
Yeah, sorry, you had mentioned you had channeled Jesus and Mary Magdalene, who's Jesus's mother. Could you speak to channeling Jesus and his mother?
Yeah, I don't channel them because channeling is like they walk into your body and they speak through you.
Okay, sorry.
I don't do that because I'm like a control freak, so
yeah.
I don't want anything, but I can hear them and communicate with them. So yeah, like.
So what has Jesus said to you? Yeah.
The first time I encountered Jesus was in a Reiki session. So I was giving Reiki to a friend, and she was a pretty magical person. So it was really, she had like all sorts of beings around her, like fairies. I saw a lot of fairy energy. And I was just, giving her Reiki. And all of a sudden I felt there was a being standing right there, like in my face. And I was like, what is this? I was trying to feel what it was. And I just knew it was Jesus. Wow. Like, I just knew, I guess I recognized his energy. And he was right here. And I was like, okay, I think I know who you are. And he just said that he loved Reiki and he was enjoying the session that I was doing with my friend.
Jesus loves Reiki.
Yes, Jesus loves Reiki. That would be a great t-shirt.
Yeah, right? That would be. That's a good idea.
Maybe our clothing guy, Looney Raccoon, could make those Jesus loves Reiki shirts.
So can you describe what it's like to interact with beings or spirits, like experientially? Like, are you seeing them? I know you said you heard them. Like, what is that interaction like?
All of it.
Wow.
What did Jesus look like?
He usually he wears like a robe. And he has hair, kind of dark hair to here. And the thing about Jesus is his energy is unconditional love. So it makes you want to cry when he's around. Like, I've been to places on earth where he left his energy and I cried because I knew he had been there.
Where is that? Is this like older places, or could you go to like a Walmart and you like feel him?
No, never. Never in Walmart. I went to a tour of Sacred Mary Magdalene places in France in 2017, and we went to this really local, out-of-the-way church called, I'm not going to say the name because I don't think I'm going to say it right, but it was one of those community churches, that only the community used, and anybody could walk in there. And I walked in there and I sat down, and whenever we went to a new place, the entire group would just spread out and sit down and feel, because most of us were intuitive and very spiritual. And I just kept feeling like he was there, and then it made me want to cry because he feels like love, unconditional love.
And does each spirit sort of bring something different to the table? Like Jesus' unconditional love, is that sort of how they influence and help you?
Yeah, and you know what? They have personality. So once you start working with them and you're around them a lot, you can feel their personality and then you'll know who they are.
Wow. That's interesting. So you're working with some of the same spirits throughout this last 10 years, so you essentially get to know them really well.
Yeah, so I started meditating probably around 2011. I had terrible monkey mind, so I would do guided meditations. But I noticed when I did the guided meditations, I saw everything that they described.
Wow.
And so I ended up doing some guided meditation to meet your spirit guide. So, I'm following along and visualizing it. And it says, the woman's voice says, your spirit guide is in the distance and he or she is coming forward, and look at what they look like. And so I started to see this form of a male form. And I was looking at this form, and he started to become clearer and clearer as I looked at him. And the guided meditation says, ask your spirit guide what their name is. And so I did that. And he said, my name is Gabriel. And then I literally was stunned. I was like, do you mean the one in the Bible?
Oh, wow.
So the lady kept talking, and I was like, wait, pause, wait. And so, yeah, it was Archangel Gabriel. So his personality is very gentle. Like, it's like they're always there, but if you call on him, it's like he gently comes forward. It's very gentle.
Yeah. So we were wondering before we started recording, actually, what's the difference between an archangel and an angel? Because we have no idea the difference between an archangel and an angel.
There's so many. There's like a zillion angels. But archangels are like, I guess, kind of the leaders of the other groups of angels. And
so like the president angels.
Yeah, their energy is so big and huge. I mean, you can feel it. It's not like, it's like bam. Like I said, Gabriel's gentle, but still it's a big energy.
Yeah.
So for example, like Archangel Michael, he's like, when he comes in, it's like a lightning bolt.
Yeah. How often are you seeing the angels? Like daily, weekly, monthly?
I mean, often, because when I work with people, when I work with my clients, oftentimes I see or feel or hear their guardian angels. So every person on the planet has 1 to 4 guardian angels.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes, and all those angels, they are always with you, and they are always helping you, and they're always trying to communicate with you.
Wow.
So through the video chat, can you connect or see our guardian angels, or would we have to be in the same room?
No, you don't have to be in the same room.
Really? Interesting. What's like, how do I get in touch with mine? Is it just through meditation and intention?
That, or you can go to like a healer or a psychic medium to help you find out what the names of your angels are, what they look like.
Oh.
Are you sensing anything right now in the room that we're not in our room?
I'm seeing like a movement behind one of you guys' heads.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Is there a window behind you?
No, it's just a wall and a light.
We have 2 dogs in here.
2 dogs walking
I
around.
might see
it
your
could be-
dogs
Yeah, it
actually
could be their
moving
tail
around.
and the light, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to get our attention.
Yeah. I mean, like, I could, but it takes some time to kind of get into that focus. I'm not like the
for
Long
sure.
Island medium, like walking around reading for everybody.
So could you walk through, for the average listener who wants to try this, can you give them like a little walkthrough of how they can start, how they can practice, in order to meet
into their psychic abilities?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, I used to do guided meditations. Those are great. So find some guided meditations and really focus on what you're seeing and feeling and hearing and knowing. And if you have a meditation that says you're walking down the stairs and you're going into the temple, really try to see that.
Visualizations.
Practice visualization, because that is the key to your psychic abilities. So for example, as a kid, I had a big imagination and I could really imagine things and I could really visualize places. Like if I said sunset, beautiful pink purple sunset, are you visualizing that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Not everybody does that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unbelievable that, because for visual people, we're like, well, what do you mean you're not visualizing it?
Right. Huh. That's cool.
Another way, a lot of people have come to me and say they used to be very psychic and they shut it down. And then they're having problems opening it back up. Like they want to, like they remember seeing and feeling and hearing things as children, but it got shut down. And I always encourage people to take Reiki, to get Reiki trained, because what Reiki is a meditation.
Okay.
When you practice Reiki, you go into alpha brainwave meditation.
What is the practice of Reiki?
It's a great tool to strengthen your psychic abilities, your intuition, and as you practice, you get better and better at it. So you have this modality that you can practice with.
Interesting. So I know we talked about the indigo children and the number of people with psychic abilities growing. Where do you think that's happening for a reason? Like, do you have any ideas about our future, where the world is heading? I've heard a lot of talk of a worldwide spiritual awakening, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and this will be our transition to our world segment.
Oh yeah. We are going from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, and 2012 was kind of the very beginning of that. So the Mayan calendar, said the world was going to end, and that meant that the Piscean world was going to end. And we were going to go into Aquarius, and now we're transitioning. So everything's a hot mess right now.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? The Pisces age, Aquarius age. Can you delve into that?
I think over time, over thousands and thousands of years, like humanity experiences a collective high and a collective low consciousness, and it's like a roller coaster.
What do you think the last high was of humanity?
Probably
Atlantis.
Yeah, probably Atlantis, and even after Atlantis, because Atlanteans survived.
Like the Roman Empire.
They moved to Egypt. They moved to Mexico, well, what's now Mexico, and became, the Mayans. So.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So they all had their teachings and knowledge intact, but over time, it's been lost. It turned dark. It turned dark in Egypt. It turned dark in the Mayan Aztecs society.
Interesting.
So,
wow.
Yeah, probably it's been a while. It's time for us to start.
And is that what the age of Aquarius is? Is that the spiritual, peak of the mountain?
Yeah. We're on the way up.
Interesting. And what happens when we get there?
So what's happening now is we've been like living on the planet of lies for maybe at least 2,000 years.
Interesting.
So everything's been a lie, and now that's being uncovered. So
what do you
they,
think like some of like top 3 lies are, just to get a little specific?
I'm gonna get controversial.
Yeah,
No,
that's
we
fine.
love
that,
controversy.
None of the celebrities are who they are. The males are females, and the females are males.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Wait, really?
Wait,
Can you?
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So explain that. Why
So,
do you
like
think that?
The Rock is? Do you think Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a female?
I've heard that he is. Yeah.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah. So
Wow.
all of let's think of the elite. They all have the best like hormones, the best access to surgeries, and everything is backwards, and they're all lying to us and fooling us. And that's all darkness is. It's lying.
But
Deception.
do you really think
It's deception.
like because I hate police, but I don't think all police are necessarily bad people. But so you're saying 100% of celebrities are transgender?
I think all the ones that win Oscars, for sure.
So
And
you
the
need to be transgender to win an Oscar.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's my
That's
recent
interesting.
rabbit
Huh.
hole, and my recent. This is what I'm
Where
pissed off
yeah,
about
where
right
did you
now.
where did you first hear about this, or how did you come to this?
Yeah, how'd you come
Yeah.
to this realization?
Yeah.
Like it all started, like I always thought I was awake, and I've always had a really good radar for lying and the truth, but I didn't realize how much we were being lied to till COVID.
Hmm.
Did you get
And
the shot?
then, huh?
Did you get the COVID shot?
Oh, hell no. No.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And so I started really looking at things that I've been hearing, but I didn't want to face, you know? And I just realized how much we were being lied to all the time.
So what are some of the other large lies? Because I never would have even thought of the celebrity one. What are some that really affect people every day?
That we're free, that this is a free country.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely. I feel like, especially in the past few years, a lot of people have been waking up to that, which
Yeah.
is good. So, are you under the belief that there's a world government and that we really have no power in electing our representatives?
Yes.
That
I
being
think
said,
it's all rigged and they've already been chosen. And I think bloodlines are really important to them. So if you have the right bloodline, they'll let you get famous, they'll let you get rich, they'll let you be elected.
Interesting.
that being said, who are you going to vote for president? Will you vote?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I should bother.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've never missed a presidential election, and I regret who I used to vote for.
What's your biggest vote regret for
Oh,
president?
Biden for sure.
Biden. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that might be
For
mine
sure.
too. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't disagree.
in September 2021, right after I got COVID myself, he said that the unvaccinated were the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
And I
that
was
just
like-
divides people.
And I was like, you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, now with these two wars going on, I mean, who knows how many others that we don't know about. Yeah, he's really put us in quite a position.
Yeah.
So, what other, I guess, quote, conspiracies have you do you believe in or have you sort of learned about? Because there's so many interesting ones. Have you heard of like the reptilian conspiracy? Do you believe in that one?
I've seen them.
Oh, really?
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, can you tell that story?
Yeah, so I have a friend who's also a shaman, and we do some remote work.
Yeah.
You know, we can tune into places anywhere in the world. And we were doing some work in DC years ago, and I remember we were, I don't know why we were looking at Pentagon, but underneath the Pentagon, I saw a few.
Really?
But the interesting thing is they couldn't tell who we were. They didn't know that. So it was like I was spying on them, but they had no idea.
Interesting.
That's good. That could be dangerous if they did know who you were.
You know what? Like, I'm not here to be afraid of anything, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
I'm a very empowered person. I've had many, many lives on this planet, and I've done many, many things, and that's why I'm good at what I do now.
Yeah.
I even have one of my mentors is an astrologer. She's really talented. And she said that I've mastered all of these things in all my different lives. And one of the many things that I mastered is the dark arts.
Oh, interesting.
And she said, you know what it is, like you know what it is, and you know how to deal with it.
What are the dark arts?
Yeah.
I would say, you know, invoking the dark spirits. You know,
Like
the
Satan or...
And do you think that's what the elite practice, the dark arts? Is that that's
yeah.
like where they get their power? Okay.
Yeah, they're doing all dark magic all the time. All the time. Every concert, every time they get up on stage, everything that comes out of their mouths, everything that they wear.
So did you allow your daughter to listen to music growing up then? Or is it all dark arts?
I do. But I do tell them, like, I don't like, you know, Taylor Swift.
Really? Do you think she's invoking the dark arts during her performances?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, be careful going to her concerts, because even people are reporting that they're like forgetting stuff or missing time or something's happening. I know it's. I mean, you really have to know what you're doing. I mean, I wouldn't even go.
I'm gonna let the dogs out. Sorry.
Okay. So
yeah.
Do you? I know there's been a lot of talk about like drinking baby's blood and all that kind of stuff. Do you adrenochrome? Do you think that stuff is happening as well? Really?
Yes.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying. So what can the average person do to sort of combat that? Like I was thinking maybe not consuming media you know, that are promoting that kind of thing, but how do we fight this battle?
Well, the good thing is people are realizing something is up. And like, remember when after the Maui fires, I think Oprah and The Rock came on like asking for money.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that video on social media and reading the comments of people and how angry they were. And I was like, oh yes, this is what we need. Like, we need to stop putting these people on a pedestal.
Yeah. And I think you're right. That's happening. That's starting to happen.
And stop being lied to and stop conforming and being a good little, you know, citizen. You gotta rebel, and you gotta be smart, and you gotta find options, you know. Like I'm in the healing, the wellness area, and you're not gonna find your solutions from the doctor anymore. They do not know how to help people. They don't know, because they only look at you as a a physical being made up of chemicals.
Right.
So
Right.
when I have a client, I look at everything. I look at how are they emotionally? How are they mentally? How are they spiritually?
Mm.
If they have a problem, I find out when it started. What was
Mm-hmm.
their mindset or emotional state around that time? All of
Mm.
that is connected.
Right. Right. And that's the major piece of the puzzle that modern doctors don't really examine or realize. And I think Big Pharma has played such a big part in all this and has destroyed the health um, of our society. I mean, the amount of people who go to the doctor and they come back with 5, 6, 7, 8 different prescriptions, and then a prescription to fight the symptoms that are caused from one of their other prescriptions. And it's just like a web of absolute crap. I think you're right. People are starting to wake up, and that's why we have some candidates like RFK Jr. who's speaking up against that, and he has massive support, which is awesome. So yeah, I do see and feel a shift with the Aquarius timeline. I think it's
Yeah,
cool
and
to see.
remember, like medication is toxic.
Mm,
Any medication that you take is toxic to your body. It's toxic to your liver. So you're
yeah,
taking 10 or 15. Do the math, people.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you familiar with urine therapy or urine therapy?
You know what? I came across that recently, but I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, we've had like a pretty this dude who's like wrote the book on it. His name's he goes by Brother Sage, and then also this other woman, Gloria Charlene, who is Vax injured. They've both been on our podcast. So if you look back at our episode history on Spotify,
Yeah,
check it out.
I
if you wanna learn
recommend.
more about it. Brother Sage is really informative about it. It's interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I recommend
Yeah.
looking into him. He's great.
All I know about urine is that if you get stung by a bee or some kind of insect,
Jellyfish. Yeah.
yeah, it'll take the sting away. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I know this is because a story that my sister told me about her son getting stung by a bee.
Mm.
And she had walked away with our mother to the car to try to get something for him and left him with her aunt.
Oh,
And by the
wow.
time she came back, he had stopped crying.
Oh
And
wow.
she asked my aunt, "What did you do?" And she didn't want to say. And then she said, "I put a little pee on it."
Oh man.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah, it does.
That's so cool.
She knew. She was in her, well, I guess she probably was in her 70s or 80s at the time.
Oh wow. Yeah, apparently there's incredible healing benefits, which is cool because it's produced by your body.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a cool idea.
All right, we're gonna transition to. This is something I wanted to circle back to, so we'll do a little transition. So the next thing we wanted to ask you, can you see our blanket?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you talked about, speaking with Jesus, Gandhi, Mary Magdalene, multiple archangels and angels. But then you also said Sasquatch. So I'm curious how Sasquatch fits into the picture there, because as far as I know, all the other people you mentioned are dead. And
Yeah.
this is our one of our dogs, Hot Dog.
Hot Dog
Yeah.
wants to hear this story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
So, back in 2018, I went out to Montana. And out in Montana, we have megaliths and dolmens.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait,
this is,
what are those?
the large stone structures with the capstone, like Stonehenge.
It's spelled like
Oh.
Dolomite. Yeah, but Dolomite.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is out there. Go check it out. MontanaMegaliths.com. Julie Ryder is the woman that has found a lot of them.
Okay.
And I've been out there twice.
Yeah, did you go to Montana searching for the megaliths, or did you go to Montana searching for Sasquatch?
I'm always aware that Sasquatch is probably in the woods, so every time I'm in the woods, I think about them.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent days just following Julie around in the forest. And then she took us to this special place that she said was the Sasquatch ceremonial meadow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I remember her saying that, and we're walking, and I'm like, is this a good idea? Like, what if they don't want us here, you know? Um, and the magical thing about that is we ended up at the meadow and we did some ceremony together. And I took some pictures and I caught some Sasquatch in my pictures. Like,
Really?
really, yeah,
Oh,
you could see faces
do you
and
have any you could share with us right now?
Yeah,
Or
we'd love to attach them to this
yeah.
episode. I'm sure our
yeah, I'll
listeners would
share.
love
I'll
that.
have to look them up and share them. But
Okay,
Cool.
nothing
great.
happened. We didn't have any. Even though I'm telepathic, so I was like, hey, throw
Yeah.
some pine cones at me,
Yeah.
and they didn't.
Are there like female and male Sasquatch, or are they all male?
No, they're whole families, whole
Okay.
clans.
There's like
Yeah.
little baby Sasquatches.
Oh yeah.
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 So,
So
have you heard of Bashar, the channeler?
no.
He's a channeler who channels a extraterrestrial, or that's what he claims, and he says that the Sasquatch are the original humanoid beings on this planet, and that humans were actually, um, uh, their DNA was tinkered with by the Anunnaki, and that's how we've become humans. But they're the original humans, I guess.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is
There's so
interesting.
many. There's so many theories about where they came from.
Mm.
But when I
Mm.
got back from Montana, I remember like taking a shower. It's always when you're in the bathroom, right? At least for psychic mediums. Yeah. Take a shower and I did one of those I wonder questions, and I have to be careful when I do that because sometimes I get an answer and not expecting it. So my question was, I wonder if Sasquatch can come into your home. And I heard yes, but we like to ask first.
Like vampires.
That's
And
crazy.
I was like, what? Who is this? You know, like who's talking to me? And it was a Sasquatch that, who had seen me in Montana. And he said his name was Joseph. And he started telling me all this stuff. I mean, I started asking him a bunch of questions, obviously, because
Wow.
we were communicating. But he basically told me when I was little, they used to watch me. So my father was from New Hampshire, and we would go there every summer. And
Mm-hmm.
I was always scared of the woods. And I think it's because I knew I was feeling that I was being watched in the
Wow.
woods there. And so he told me that when I was a toddler, I wandered off and got lost, and they picked me up and took me back to my parents.
So
And
Joseph told you this.
yeah, and I had no recall. Like they can erase your memory. So,
Sasquatch can erase your memory.
yeah,
How do they, like the Men in Black? A Sasquatch
No,
like has a little thing, or
they're psychic, right?
oh,
yeah.
oh, that's
So
how.
imagine
Okay.
if you always lived in the woods and you were completely connected to Mother Earth, and
Mm-hmm.
and I think of Sasquatch more like part of the fairy realm.
Mm.
Who
So
else is in the fairy realm?
they're completely connected to nature. That is their
Okay.
place. Like that is their domain. And so they're very sensitive and they have a lot of abilities, and they're very old too. So they can do all these things.
Interesting.
What,
So
what are some other fairy realm beings other than Sasquatch?
There's all sorts. There's like
Yeah.
gnomes, there's flower fairies,
Treants.
there's tree fairies, there's elves. Yeah, those
Hmm.
are the ones that I've seen and communicated with.
so That's really interesting. So you're saying that there are a myriad of different species that we just haven't, of intelligent species that we haven't discovered or interacted with, because they just don't want us to know they're there.
Yeah, well, we used to like we used to have really
Like 2,000
friendships with
years ago.
them, and even the Native Americans, they were communicating with Sasquatch. They considered them the wild man and another tribe.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we moved away from that. And so they kind of went underground. We got
Yeah.
disconnected from them and they disconnected from us.
Do you think that Sasquatch would like to eat, like a Sasquatch would enjoy a pizza?
Oh, I think they probably love it.
Yeah. Okay.
So they moved underground. Have you heard of like the hollow earth theory and Mount Shasta theory? And do you believe all that as well?
Oh, yeah.
That would be
What is Hollow Earth theory? Hey, dogs, quiet. What is Hollow Earth theory?
it's cool.
I have no idea.
That there are like entire civilizations underground,
Oh,
inside mountains. Um,
sewers of New York City.
well, even deeper than
Yeah.
that, deeper underground.
Mm.
Interesting.
So you've seen that there's been UFOs and extraterrestrials in the news a lot lately, right? How do you think they play into all of this? Do you think that they're just another one of those species, or do you think they're actually coming from off planet?
That's a good question because I've heard theories that they're not off planet, they're coming from inside the
Huh.
Earth. So
Yeah.
Oh. Or
I
what
think
about,
it's a combination of things, but I honestly think that we're surrounded by UFOs all the time, but they have a cloaking ability and we don't see them. But just
Have
like
you
humans, you've got bad aliens and you've got good aliens.
have you ever spoken to anyone in like, or I guess you said higher dimensions, but is that otherworldly too then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like
hmm
multi-dimensions or
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen like little grays, even though I
Oh,
don't want to
really?
have anything to do with them. So I've
Wha-
basically told them, don't come around me
What's
or
a
it's
what's
going
a
to be
little
bad for you.
ex,
And they
excuse
don't.
what's a little gray? Excuse me for being ignorant. I've never heard of a little gray.
You
You
know the little
haven't?
gray aliens with the big eyes and the bulbous heads?
They're real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
They
yeah.
just admitted in Congress that they had alien biologics.
oh wow.
Yeah, and that's how they're described.
I don't trust the government, so now I don't believe in aliens anymore.
I've heard a lot of people say that actually. They're like, now that the government says it, I don't
It's
believe
not real.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I'm curious, like what, like you probably have a lot of critics when you say you believe in elves and you've spoken to Jesus and Sasquatch and Gandhi. So what do you say to your critics? And then like you did say you had pictures of Sasquatch, which we're excited to see, but what other evidence do you have to prove other than your word? And I'm not saying we don't believe you, but I'm just saying to critics of you.
Well, this is not really an arena where you have physical evidence,
It's all
you know?
metaphysical.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
That's
If you're
that's true.
looking, if you're looking for science to prove it, science can't even touch this
Yeah, well, no,
because
we would just love to have Jesus on our podcast. So, like, if you were a channeler, you could like channel him for us,
just
and we
call
could
him
interview
in.
Jesus. Yeah, but we don't know how to do it. Yeah, but like
We'll
that'd
have
be a
to
good
Just
one.
do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to start practicing. But yeah, do you find it difficult, or do you get a lot of pushback socially, or is this stuff that you really don't talk about much?
I've talked about it. Like I've had a blog since 2014.
Oh,
Yeah,
There's
cool.
that
I've
podcast too, Weird Experiences, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
spoke for 2 years to all different people on the My Weirdest Experience podcast.
Mm,
You know what? I don't worry about that. If you're not into it, don't listen. If you don't
Yeah.
yeah.
believe, then don't listen.
Yeah, you're not
Like,
hurting anyone with your ideas,
right,
like whatever. Yeah.
right. You
Yeah.
Fair
believe
enough.
what you want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think experience is really important and that creates your reality.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I would never tell someone they didn't experience something. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
the ultimate gaslighting,
Yeah.
and we need to
right.
stop doing that.
Yeah. Is your family on board with your beliefs? Do they believe the same things, or do they not believe the same, but you still understand and love each other, or is there a
Yeah,
total
I think,
divide?
my husband's used to it, and
Yeah.
I brought up my daughters. When they're little, they're very interested in fairies, and
Mm-hmm.
but my daughters have seen things and told me about them.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I recently read somewhere, and I forget the exact statistic, but a large majority, not majority, a large number of our population has seen something that they can't explain. And I'll try to find that somewhere, but whether they identify it as a ghost or an alien or a spirit, just something unexplainable, um, which is cool. I think that speaks volumes.
Oh, yeah. There's always someone who's seen movement at the corner of their eye. They've
Mm-hmm.
had their hair stand up, they
Mm.
get the goosebumps. I mean, your body is like a pendulum. It's like an antenna. And so your body responds to the environment. And your body is always trying to communicate to you what's happening.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, listen to your intuition. All right. Well, we've gone through
Pretty much all of our
everything.
topics. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to speak on or shout out?
Well, you
Any?
did ask about the tarot, and I didn't really get
Oh,
Yeah.
into
true.
it
Let's go
that
back to
much.
that.
But so tarot, there's different theories on where it originated. Some believe it started in ancient Egypt, and they were definitely using the tarot in the Middle Ages. And there's a theory that the Gnostics, I don't know if you're familiar with the Gnostics, but they
Uh,
believe in direct connection to the divine, not going through a church, and that the Gnostics were using the tarot to teach their teachings. So it's just a tool, people. Like, don't get overly excited on, oh my God, this is bad. It's
Yeah.
if you're not particularly intuitive or psychic and you need help getting guidance, use the tarot. Pull some tarot cards for you or yourself, and always invoke your angels and guides first, and don't worry about stuff. Like,
Do you ever recommended like starter tarot set?
I think the basic Rider Waite deck is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, and for beginners, I would stay away from the decks that don't have a lot of artwork because they're hard to read.
Mm.
You want decks that are full of artwork and it's easier to read, but it's just
Hmm.
a tool. Like anything, you can use it for the dark or you can use it for the light.
For sure. Yeah.
Mm. Cool.
Um.
I wish we had more time to like delve into Hollywood conspiracy or just conspiracies more, but
Yeah.
maybe next time we will, because
Yeah, we could do it again.
Yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
I'm still intrigued by what you said about celebrities being the opposite
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah. I'd like to get deeper into that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, we appreciate your time, Tina. Any last words, or if you want to say your website again, or anything
Yeah, so
for
my
people to get in
website is
contact?
my name, TinaKinneyClark.com. My business is Stargazing Angel, LLC. I do in-person sessions remotely on Zoom also, and I teach classes mostly in person now, but I've taught them online as well. So, come check out my website.
Great.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna actually this is a little weird, but actually, you're good to go. Thanks, Tina.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tina.
It might this might send you a link after that'll just ask you to like complete the download, and then it'll be able to put everything together better. But yeah, that's
Okay.
it. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Yeah,
Tina.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. If anyone wants to learn more from Tina, go to her website. We'll put it in our description. And yeah, hopefully we can speak with you again.
Thanks, Tina.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
I think.
Well, I think she'll be able to just end the call, right?
I don't know.
On her end.
No, we have to end it.
No, don't hit leave. She can end it. I'm pretty sure.
I'll end it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. No, this way it stays in one recording. It's easy.
Okay.
That lady is.
Is she on still?
No, she's off. Woo!
What time is it?
I don't know.
I have dinner coming like in a little bit, but yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, she has some wild beliefs.
She just believes in literally everything.
Yeah, every conspiracy.
But the craziest one was the celebrities, I think.
I've never heard that before.
Never heard that either, but she believed in the adrenochrome.
Yeah, what did I miss when I was on?
She believes in the adrenochrome, the reptiles, every single conspiracy ever. She just like
Literally, she's like every celebrity who's won an Oscar is the opposite sex.
But she started out just by saying every celebrity was the opposite sex.
Yeah.
She was really cool, and I would like to talk to her again. But
Yeah.
dude, I think there's becoming more and more like extreme conspiracy theorists.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That was my first curse of the episode. There we go.
I just want to know like how you get to those beliefs. Like, I guess maybe there are a lot were from her own experiences, but like the celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
Well, anyway, let's wrap. So this will be our last time recording together for the year of 2023. Well,
That's true.
We'll do a few. Hopefully,
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, we might record tomorrow. That'd be fun.
Let's record.
Let's record tomorrow. Maybe get an in-person guest or something.
Yeah, let's work on something.
So we'll do one more episode in person, then we'll have a couple episodes with the Wallstreet Bitch calling into the studio while he's traveling. And we appreciate you all. We want you to definitely check out our link in our bio. We now have video on Spotify, which is pretty rad.
Pretty rad.
And we got outro songs. We got sound effects.
I like the effects.
Yeah.
Wait, could she hear them? Because she would never react to them.
Not at first, because I didn't have it on live mode. But then
because I was so.
Yeah, she.
Because I was just sitting there going, "Yay!" Like she probably thought it was so weird.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But hold on.
I still can't like get a grip or a feel for that lady. Anyway,
we're gonna do an outro song by the artist formerly known as Grand Daniel, now called Pickle Walks. It's a song called Ohio. It's been the outro song in the past few episodes. You also see all our credits roll in, our Riverside sponsor link, etc., all that stuff. But yeah, we love our fans. Check out the baptizemachine.com.
And tell us what you think of Tina.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe a word she said, but it's cool. She is a very nice person, and I'm down to hear. I'm down to listen to her.
The world is either like a crazy magical place, or maybe she sees things and hears voices, or maybe both.
But we love you. We are the Baptize Machine, and we'll be back soon. Bye.
Get the drugs out of the car.